So in order for me to describe the events of what happened on July 20th, 2026, we had to go all the way back to last year, around late May or early May, late April of 2025. So these are really important details to describe the journey or the timeline of what goes on with today and how it affects today, literally. So by the time you could tell, you're probably wondering who this person is. And I was eventually gonna make this video. I kind of figured I'd do it later when I actually had more free time, but I have all the free time in the world now. So there's this woman named Chrisanta. I didn't meet her until like probably 2 weeks in my old job, aka HEB. The whole point was to work, you know, maybe make a few friends because I had bonds with people at my job I was with the most, the artisan, for 5 years. And I had really good bonds with people, and that was my fault for, leaving on messy terms with, unanswered answers, I guess, or unanswered questions. So here we are. I want to say it was early May because I didn't meet her until 2 weeks after I was done. It was already late April. And I was assigned, to close a specific person on Friday. And keep in mind, I never had the courage or anything built up in me to talk with women. And that's, people say you're not supposed to go to work today, and I get that. That could be true. I don't know. I never tried it. And there was this very outgoing woman, this individual, Chrisanta herself. She was very friendly. Even on the first day, she would just yap a lot. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's you at the end of the day. You can't change that. That's who you are. That's how you feel. That you want to present yourself out to others. You don't want to be boring. And she said herself, I just like talking because, I don't like it quiet, and I like to make friends or whatever the heck, and, make time go by fast. And you have to respect that. And, in my head, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be one of those, gods, or you're basically people who like to talk a lot. Now, then she started to approach me, and I was like, okay, this is weird. At the time, I didn't find her attractive or anything. I was like, okay, it's just another girl. And there was better. So, ideally, there was better looking girls, and I didn't care about that. I didn't even care about dating, period. The whole point was to just save my money and kick off the road to Tokyo. It was supposed to happen a hell of a lot sooner. At the time, I was still paying out debt. I had a lot more debt than I have none now. But she's very friendly. She came up to me. I was like, what? Me? And I never knew how to talk with women. Never did. I never had the courage enough. I had never had enough courage built up in me to start a conversation. So I'm trying to say. And it was like, okay, thank you for being friendly in my head. And I went home, thinking, okay, that was a really friendly girl. She'll be all right. She's very cool. She's very outgoing. And then, the next couple of weeks later, she just kept asking more and more stuff about me, and then she just had this unique characteristic trait about her. I think I started to like her, not fall in love with it, because you can't fall in love with someone you barely know, right? So then it came to a time where one of my other coworkers, she asked for my number, but not like that, but she's just for business. At the end of the day, it's all business, nothing personal. And okay, well, if I know she's cool with Chrisanta, aka the girl I'm somewhat starting to like, then I can, hopefully maybe get a follow from her. Maybe it could be. I swear to God, you have to hear me out, because this girl that I got that asked for my number originally, she says, "Yeah, we're in a group chat and whatever the hell." I said, "Oh, okay, if that's the case, then maybe I can be put in there one day, and maybe Chrisanta could be in there." And I swear to God, I was like, I'm gonna get her number, and I'm gonna hope. I have a good feeling that if I continue to talk with her and get to know her better, she can kind of wingman me, So and then I can eventually get a follow from Chrisanta. And as predicted, it took about a couple months later. I was right. I was put in a group chat with them, but she didn't follow me back. So oh shit, damn. I guess I got humbled immediately. I was like, man, I thought I was shit. Everything's going according to my plan. I pressed follow. It just said requested, and she didn't follow me back. So oh, okay, that's interesting. But it took a while. She has some personal things going on, and I tried to comfort her. I'm sorry, things are going badly for you. If you ever need someone to talk with, or if you ever need help with something, let me know. And then that's when she decided to follow me back. and on top of giving me her number, actually I asked for her number because, you know, I needed to send her stuff. I don't know. And then we just started to kind of click, you know. Unfortunately, I was always the one who had to start the conversation. So I should have known off the rip. I wish I can go back in time and slap myself in the face. If you had to start a conversation, she's probably not interested. I wish I would have known that back then. Hell, even now. But damn it, dude. But I wasn't saying necessarily a sim. I wasn't like buying her stuff or anything. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, maybe like a few things. But I was trying my hardest to, like, because I never knew how to talk with women. This is like all new to me, right? And it was around August of last year, of 2025. I finally admitted my love to her because, you know, she said she was getting off a recent, I wouldn't even say breakup, but she had this weird way of relationships, if you know what I mean. And that's her life at the end of the day. She chooses to live it how she wants to. You can't judge her for that. It's what she wants at the end of the day. And, you know, I was like, bro, the way you're describing these type of things, I can do so much better. And keep in mind, I've never been in a relationship, so, like, why am I going to, you know, back up these claims? Because I'm the fucking greatest of all time. I know what I can do and bring to the table. It's so hard for me to be mean and cruel and evil back to, not just to women, people in general. It's not in my fucking nature. I can't do that shit. I can't fake being mean. It's just not me. It never was me, and it never will be. No matter how dark things may seem to get, it's just never going to be in my heart to do these things, you know. So that's how I know I'd be a good husband. I mean, being nice doesn't always mean anything. You have to have a backbone too at the right times. You don't have to be a dick back to people who are being a dick to you. There's ways to handle this, and I feel like I've mastered that. I feel like I can figure out ways to avoid situations like that. I would never be in a situation like that because I know myself, and I know luck will always come my way, and a little bit of, you know, the right choice of words, to say the least. So here we are. I finally admitted my feelings to her, told her I loved her, you're crazy, and all that, blah, blah, blah. And so, oh, okay, yeah, I'm talking with you, some other guy. So that right there was, oh, shit, dude, this is competition. I wish I would have went back in time and slapped myself in the face. It's like, leave it the fuck alone, bro. Like, first of all, if she ain't even trying to if she ain't even hitting you up first, or she ain't trying to make conversation, dude, just fucking stop. Do yourself a favor and stop, dude. The energy's not there. I put so much energy and thought into this, and it's not even her fault. She said off the rip, from ever since I made that fiance, I'm not looking for a relationship, and I should have stopped there. I should have. But I had this main character syndrome. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try my very hardest. I'm the fucking GOAT. I'm gonna go out there and win her over. Ultimately win her over. I'm gonna be the best candidate for her love. So that's what I did, or I tried to. Started eating better. I started dressing nicer. I started waking up a tad bit earlier. I'm lazy as shit. I started changing my way of life because, you know, I was like, for once in my life, I have a girl who I feel like she's worth fighting for. You know, if I can do all these things I have, my little game plan, I feel like I can win her over ultimately. And boy, it did not work. She really was like, she told me, like, I'm not even joking, like 2 or 3 times to stop, give up the idea of ever falling in love with me, because we're never gonna end up together. I said, not even 10 years if I locked in and shit. She said, no. Dude, that killed me. That killed my spirit, killed my ego. So then I kind of somewhat accepted it for like a couple weeks. We just went back to being friends. We didn't do nothing anyways. The only thing intimate we ever did was a damn hug. So it was in Galveston around September. She was feeling down, or something bad was about to happen, and she was feeling down, so she was gonna go to the beach. And then technically I kind of invited myself. I was like, she said, oh, I'm going to the beach later. I was like, oh, that's crazy. With who? I was supposed to go with my friend. I'm going alone. I was like, oh, and I was like, I wish I would have went with you. And she's like, you can still come with me. I was like, what? So I technically invited myself, but she technically, you know, accepted the bag. And I had like a top 15 favorite day of my life. It was just straight vibes. We just went to the beach, we chilled, hanged out, we talked, we yapped. I explained my life situation to her, blah blah blah. Nothing romantic happened. It was just straight up pure vibes, and that to me was a top 15 day of my life. Hell, probably even top 10. And then I realized, like, shit, dude, I really want this girl. Even though she told me to give up the idea of ever falling in love with me or being with me, I didn't want to give up. I tried my hardest. I was like, fuck, dude, I have to win her over. This is like maybe a sign from God. Like, keep going, keep pushing, keep bettering yourself. And I got too pushy. I kept trying to force myself upon her. Not like that, but I guess kind of like that. But I was just trying to fucking be the center of attention to her world. I kept texting her. I was like, hey, what are you doing? I kept getting jealous. Attachment leads to jealousy, unfortunately. I wish I would have learned that a hell of a lot sooner. Hell, even off the rip, when I knew she wasn't texting me first and she would never randomly hit me up, you know, hey, Will, how was your day? I never got any of that. It was always me doing that to her because I feel like that was a man's duty. It's a two-way street. If you ain't getting the same energy back, don't show it back. I wish I would have learned that sooner, but I hate myself for having a kind heart. I hate myself because I can't be evil and I can't be fucking terrible and a dick to people. Even though when they don't show me the energy back, I can't find it in my heart to just act like people don't exist. Like, people want acknowledgement, and when you give it to them, it's, even to me, when people give me acknowledgement, from a stranger I don't even know, it's one of the best feelings in the world, because you exist in that world. You don't feel alone, you know. I'll talk about this later video, get more into that, but I want to say thank you, Chrisanta, for humbling me. And then, okay, of course, we got to talk about October 7th of last year. Things were getting rocky, and she kind of stopped hitting me up for a couple days, and I was worried. I was like, damn, she blocked me already? And it was because I asked for like the third time or fourth time, I believe, like, let's get together, like, I want to be your boyfriend. I swear this can work. You just have to give it an opportunity, a chance. And then she just stopped. And that's when she really told me, like, yeah, I purposely didn't talk with you because you're being pushy, and I don't want to be with you. I told you from day one I'll be with you, and I thought I could pull it off. But that right there was a humbling moment. And so just like that, we never talked again. I remember going to work that Saturday after all that happened, and I was like, I can't do this. I left. I ran away. I let that get the best of me. I was doing so good at work. I was, performing well. So I was told, and, I could have just easily ignored it, but I couldn't go in there knowing the fact that every time we see each other, it was going to be awkward. It was going to be weird. We were going to basically act like we didn't know each other. Even that Saturday when it came, we didn't talk at all. And we walked past by each other, like, I think it was like 15 times, 15 opportunities. I wasn't expecting an apology from her. I did get many chances after I kept telling her I was in love with her. So the moral of the story is, just stop. Let go. Stop. It's going to hurt, bro. I swear it is. But it'll eventually go away. That feeling went away. And that's when, I got humbled. I quit. I went a month without talking to her because I blocked her because I was so frustrated at the world. I was in a dark place. I let go of a really good thing. I had a really good thing going at the job. Decent pay, I was close to home. I was being an idiot, though. Let my emotions get the best of me. And blocked her for about a month. Hit her back in December. Dude, I got so desperate I emailed her. That's how bad it was. I was like, oh shit, this is like weird and stalkerish and obsessed. I was obsessed. It wasn't on a scary level, like, oh, you better get back with me. I wasn't being violent or nothing. It's not in my heart to do that. I just wanted a chance. I just wanted an opportunity to talk with words, And yeah, that was technically the first time I ever fell in love with a girl, because in high school, I was so shy and so alone, I guess you could say. I never really had that, moments in high school. I was just keeping to myself. So this is all, like, new to me at the time, and that's when I was like, okay, it's done and over with. Let it go. And I'll describe in my next video what happens to the friends I had there, the bonds I created, the Last Supper.